what this study talked about was, how people travel and they vacation, they have all these great experiences. And then when they come home, they want to replicate a lot of these experiences.
Sure.
And some of the easiest ways to replicate these experiences is just through food.
So on that note, with the global travel and the global experiences, this is an interesting meeting with your Walmart supplier, with the Walmart supplier to the Walmart buyer,
Sure.
because now you have to kind of go in and build a case for expanding your assortment, because those flavors may not be, here in Bentonville, Arkansas, or, I traveled somewhere and I want to experience that. So how do you build that case to convince your buyer, hey, this is going to be okay?
Well, one, you wouldn't think so, right? That they'd be
Sure.
in Bentonville, Arkansas. But here's my opinion. So in my opinion, I think there's a lot of retailers now, not just Walmart, but a lot, that are doing everything that they can to try to connect with their ethnic consumer and just their inquisitive shopper, right? So I think if you're a supplier and you have a solution that'll help these retailers connect, you need to share it. So, and if I can, I'll just share some personal stories.
Absolutely.
So over the past 10 months, my family, we've hosted 2 different international students. So one was a 19-year-old young man from El Salvador. We had him for about 3 months. And then the past 7 months, we've hosted a 16-year-old exchange student from Spain.
Oh, wow.
And and it's been a lot of fun. And one of the things that's been fun is, with both of them, we've had the experience where we've walked through a grocery store and they'll stop in their tracks and they'll run over and they'll grab an item off the shelf and they'll come back and say, I did not know that you guys sold this in the USA. I did not know I could find this here. And, and then they'll tell a story, right? And there's just such a deep connection with this story. They're so passionate. And it might be, these are the cookies that my mother would have for me when I got home from school, or this is the soda pop that my mother wouldn't buy, but I could have it every time I was at my friend's house, and, little things like that. And you could just see how passionate they were. And, of course, inevitably these items made it into the cart. We took them home, and then they made everybody under our roof try it, and would tell the story again and again. And you could just see how passionate they were. And I can relate, from a personal level. So personally, I was not born in this country. I was born in Ottawa, Ontario. Yeah. Grew up in Eastern Canada and spent time in Calgary, Alberta before finally, coming down to the U.S. About 20 years ago. And there's been times where I've walked through, local Walmarts here in Northwest Arkansas, and, I'll be walking past the chip aisle and I'll see all-dressed potato chips, which you do not see a lot of all-dressed potato chips outside of Canada, or poutine bites in the frozen aisle, or even just branded good Canadian brands over in the beverage aisle. And they make it in my cart and I take them home because there is that connection and everything else with it. And when it comes to food, it's an individual that I work with. He laughs and says, I think the happiest I've ever seen you was when we were at a festival and you saw a food truck that served poutine and beaver tails. And
beaver tails. Okay. Explain to naive people like me, what are beaver tails?
It's just fried dough with some powdered sugar, and it's just Canada.
Okay.
So everybody tastes
Sounds
like Canada.
good.
So no, they're amazing. And to me, you know what? It's my childhood and it's what I remember. I remember skating out on the frozen lake in Ottawa and grabbing a hot beaver tail. And yeah, so to me, there is that deep connection, and I can relate. So I think if you're a supplier out there that can help a retailer really connect on such a deep level with their consumers and with their shoppers, you need to share that story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and follow us online.